Most people don't realize this, but statistically, the average American will live in their home for less than 15 years. In fact, 47% of homeowners reside in their home between 6 and 10 years. And that's not by accident. Banks design the system to benefit themselves. They win because most people focus on the interest rates when the real power lies in how fast your home moves and how you use it. That concept is called velocity of money, and once you understand it, everything changes. Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Today, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process to take back control of your finances by using your home in a way most people never think about. We're going to shift the conversation from the bank making money off your house to you using your house to build wealth. Here's the situation. Over the last decade, home values have climbed significantly, and at the same time, interest rates have also gone up. So what does that mean? That means that millions of Americans are now sitting on massive amounts of untapped equity, money that's locked inside the walls of their home. But here's the opportunity. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to unlock that equity and then put it to work, turning it into real financial freedom. And the best part, this isn't about taking on more risk, working harder, or finding a side hustle. It's about learning how to redirect money that you're already spending on debts and expenses and using the equity you already have to build wealth step by step. So by the end of this video, you'll see how you can transform what's normally lazy money trapped in your house into a tool that works for you and not against you. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before we dive into this strategy, I want to share two critical pieces of advice so you use your equity responsibly. First, just because you have equity doesn't mean you should automatically use it. If you don't fully understand the strategy, or if you're just going into this alone without any guidance, then it's often better to leave it untouched. Using equity without a clear plan can backfire and leave you worse off than you were before. Second, even a paid off home still costs you money. You're still responsible for property taxes, insurance, utilities, maintenance, and repairs. A free and clear house isn't truly free. So the idea I want you to consider is simple. What if you could turn that trapped equity into income that not only covers those ongoing costs, but can also make you money in other business ventures or investments? Let's first start by defining what home equity actually is. For anyone who's new to the concept, we'll start with the basics. Home equity is the difference between what your property is worth and what you still owe on it. So for example, if your home is valued at $700,000 and your mortgage balance is $300,000, your equity is $400,000. It's the difference. This equity can often be accessed tax-free, and when used correctly, it can be leveraged into income-producing real estate like commercial properties that generate cash flow every single month. However, that's just one example of a use case. So now that we know what equity is, let's talk about how to actually get it out of your home. There are 4 primary methods. Method number 1, home equity line of credit, also known as a HELOC. That's a flexible line of credit that's secured by your house that allows you to borrow against your equity. Method number 2 is cash out refinance. That replaces your current mortgage with a new one, giving you access to a lump sum of your equity. Method number 3 is selling your property. You can sell your home or rental, cash out the equity, and reinvest it into higher yielding assets. Method number 4 is a 1031 exchange. This is for investment properties only. This allows you to sell and reinvest your equity into another property while deferring capital gains taxes. Each one of these has pros and cons, and I'll walk you through how they work step by step in this video. Once you have the equity available, the next step is learning how to use it to generate monthly income. Now, this is where strategy matters. You'll see how to take that equity and put it into cash flowing real estate that not only pays itself, but also covers the cost of borrowing the equity in the first place. So next, let's create a clear roadmap from understanding your equity to unlocking it to turning it into monthly income that supports your financial freedom. All right, so let's break down the 4 main ways to access your home equity so it's crystal clear. Now, option number 1, that home equity line of credit. A HELOC works like a giant credit card backed by your house. The bank gives you a line of credit. It's usually up to 70 to 80% of your available equity, and you can borrow from it as needed. Now, referring back to our previous example, your home is worth $700,000 and you still owe $300,000. That means you have $400,000 in equity. If the bank lets you borrow 75% of that, you now have access to $300,000 through a home equity line of credit. The best part is you don't have to take all of it at once. You can draw from it as opportunities come up. Option number 2 is cash out refinance. This is where you replace your existing mortgage with a new, larger loan. Using the same example, if you owe $300,000 on your home, you could refinance it into a $600,000 mortgage. The first $300,000 pays off your old loan, and the other $300,000 goes straight into your pocket to be reinvested. Now, the advantage here is you're consolidating into one loan, but the downside is you're locked into new terms and potentially higher monthly payments. Option number 3, selling the property. Now, this is the simplest but most dramatic option. You can sell your home or your rental by cashing out the equity and then taking that lump sum to reinvest. This makes sense if you're downsizing, you're relocating, or moving money into higher yielding investment. Option number 4, a 1031 exchange. This one only applies to rental or investment properties, not your primary residence. So a 1031 exchange allows you to sell an investment property and reinvest the profits into another one of equal or greater value, all while deferring capital gains tax. So if you have rental properties, this is one of the best things that you can do, because this means that you keep building wealth without getting hit with a huge tax bill. So what do you actually do with the equity once you've unlocked it? Now, this is where strategy comes in. The key is to put that money into assets that generate consistent monthly income. The two most common ways to do this is by investing in income producing real estate or a business investment or even franchise funding. You can also leverage it to start or buy into a business. Example number 1, if you use a HELOC or cash out refinance to fund a proven franchise or e-commerce business. The goal here is for the business to generate monthly revenue that can not only pay off the financing, but also produce long-term income that's far greater than what the equity was earning sitting in your home. Example 2, you might take that $300,000 in equity from a HELOC or a cash out refinance and use it as the down payment on a small apartment building or commercial property. Let's run some numbers. Suppose you find a 12-unit apartment building for $1 million. You put down $300,000 and you finance the rest with a $700,000 mortgage. If each unit rents for $1,100, that's $13,200 a month, or about $158,000 a year in gross income. After accounting for vacancies, expenses, and your mortgage payment, you could still walk away with nearly $2,000 a month in positive cash flow. That's money you didn't have before, and you created that by using equity that was just sitting in your home doing absolutely nothing. Now, of course, this is an example you definitely want to do a lot of research in before purchasing a business, starting a franchise, or acquiring a rental or commercial property. However, the goal is to open your eyes to what possibilities you may have overlooked by not utilizing the equity for your home. Now, here's the part most people overlook. You should never use equity unless the asset you're buying produces enough income to cover the cost of borrowing. If your rental property costs you $600 a month, the rental property you buy with that money should generate at least $600 in positive cash flow, but ideally much more than that. Otherwise, you're just trading one financial burden for another. That's why education and guidance is so important. So if you're new to this, take your time to learn how to analyze deals, calculate cash flow, and understand the risk before jumping in. Real estate can build wealth, but only if you approach it with discipline. Once you have your first cash flowing property, the real magic begins. Not only are you getting monthly income, but your tenants are also paying down the mortgage, which builds even more equity for you. Plus, over time, you can often raise rents, which will increase the property's value. After a few years, you may even be able to do a cash out refinance on that new property. You can pull out even more equity and repeat the process. And this is how investors use a single property to grow into an entire portfolio of real estate, and that will support your financial freedom for sure. Now, last, I want to talk about why this works. And I want to focus on this because I can give you 100,000 reasons why it couldn't, but it's much harder to tell you why it would. And this is how you make your equity work for you instead of letting it just sit idle. It's not about selling your home or adding financial risk. It's about transferring trapped value into income producing assets. And remember, the benefits don't stop at cash flow. You also get tax advantages from owning rental property as well as owning a business. You build wealth as your loan balances decrease. You create opportunities to raise rent, to force appreciation, and over time, you'll be able to refinance again, and you can repeat this cycle as many times as you would like. This is how one strategic move can snowball into a portfolio that funds your lifestyle and gives you real financial freedom. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed this, I have about 4 videos that I've done on real estate. I probably made them over a year ago and never released them because I just could not figure out how to actually release videos that would make people on this channel interested. So if this did really well and you guys like this, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to go back, release those videos, and definitely make more content about this. Some of you may know from my previous videos that I've been looking at real estate for a long time, but we do know that properties have increased in price, and I've been looking for a great buying opportunity, and I'm still looking for that right now. So if you take nothing else from this video, just let it be this: your house isn't just where you live, it can also be the key to your financial future. And by learning how to unlock and properly use the equity, you can turn that lazy money into active income. So whether you're house rich but cash poor, nearly mortgage free but still struggling with bills, or sitting on rental properties that aren't working hard enough for you, this strategy can completely change your financial path. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a wonderful day.